Now, I don't want to worry you guys, but actually that announcement was done on a temporary basis, saying that they were going to run it through for a trial period of 1 year. Now, that 1 year period actually runs out. If you've been following my channel recently, you know that I've been sharing a lot of information regarding UK immigration and all the different updates that's been coming up recently in the news. Now, today's video is not going to be any different, but really what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling together a wide variety of all the different updates that have come up, including one that actually recently came out just last week, and sharing with you guys all the details regarding these updates in case you've missed any of them for whatever reason, and also exactly how they're likely to impact you, where relevant, and also the relevant action or steps that I think you might want to consider if you are indeed looking to relocate to the UK. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Tess, and on this channel I share a lot of useful information for those who are looking to relocate to the UK. So if that's the kind of content you'd like to see, then definitely make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and tap the little notification bell so that you don't miss out. Let's start by talking about the most recent announcement then. So one of the most recent announcements that actually came up just a few days ago was the fact that international students can now switch from the student visa over to the skilled worker visa. Now, this is a major announcement. This is great news for international students looking to migrate to the UK, because it means that you no longer actually have to complete your course or your studies before you can actually apply for a skilled worker visa. It used to be the case that you had to complete your degree or whatever qualification that you were studying before you were able to switch from the student visa to the skilled worker visa. Now, obviously, with this most recent announcement, that's no longer the case. So that is obviously a really good news that's just come out. Under the rules, as long as students can obtain a job offer from an employer that's approved from the Home Office, then they can apply to switch from the student visa route to the skilled worker visa immediately without completing their degree. So this is amazing news if you're an international student that's looking to come here and ultimately settle in the UK. Okay, this is a great step in the right direction for a lot of you who may have been worried given all the recent updates and announcements that have been coming up recently. This is obviously going to be much cheaper and faster, because it means that you don't have to spend the time to actually come in here on a student visa, then wait to complete your degree, then transfer onto a graduate visa before then transferring onto a skilled worker visa. With this route, it's going to be much quicker and cheaper for you. Now, while this is obviously good news for international students thinking of coming to the UK, what remains unclear is whether or not the UK government will be pushing their initial proposal for international students to come to the UK and study at what they were calling top tier universities, okay, and top tier degrees. So if you're an international student looking to come to the UK, my advice for you is to come sooner rather than later. Obviously, the requirements and procedure regarding obtaining a skilled worker visa is still the same, okay? So if you want to learn more regarding the processes, the application, and how to apply for the skilled worker visa, then I'll be sure to leave the links to those videos down in the description box below. So do make sure you check out for those if you're interested in learning more about the skilled worker visa. For those of you who might be considering other avenues to relocate to the UK outside of the skilled worker visa, do make sure you check the description box below, because I'd have left details regarding other visa options that you might not be aware about, which you can actually use to successfully migrate over to the UK. Now, the next update I wanted to inform you guys about is regarding the fact that no extension has yet been given to the deadline for which care workers can apply under the health and care worker visa. Okay, remember that it was only earlier this year, back in February, that an announcement was made that care workers could now apply to come to the UK using the health and care worker visa route. Okay, but actually that announcement was done on a temporary basis, saying that they were going to run it through for a trial period of 1 year. Now, that 1 year period actually runs out sometime February 14, I believe, next year. Okay, so February 14 in 2023. Now, this is less than 2 months to go, and there is still no update from the UK government regarding a possible extension to this. Now, I don't want to worry you guys, but this is more of really a cautionary warning to you guys that for those of you who are looking to apply for this visa, if you haven't yet made an initial application, then obviously do make sure you get that application in as soon as possible, okay, sooner rather than later. Alternatively, if you are looking for other ways in which you can migrate using a care worker visa route, then Ireland did actually make an announcement, okay, that they are going to be launching a new care worker visa, which ironically is actually launching next month, okay, January. I do have a video regarding that announcement, the eligibility and the requirements. So if you're interested in learning more about that particular visa and what that update was about, then make sure you check that video out. I will be leaving a link to that video down in the description box below, as well as a complete list of care agencies and recruitment homes that you can apply to if you're looking to migrate over to Ireland. Now, the next update is the UK-India visa. The UK-India visa is a new visa which will allow Indian graduates to work in the UK for up to 2 years after they complete their studies. This is obviously great news. We know that in the year ending March 2022, the top list of countries that actually had skilled worker visa granted to them was India, Nigeria and Philippines. Now, this visa is obviously part of a broader relationship of which UK and India are a part of. Now, the next update is on the scale-up visa. Now, the scale-up visa was actually launched towards the ending of August this year, okay? Now, the update on this visa is that this visa has actually had a much lower take-up than the UK government had originally expected. It's likely that in light of the recession and the UK government being keen to upscale the British economy, this visa route will more and more likely be pushed for businesses who are keen to actually come to the UK and start their business. Besides which, this visa route is actually more cheaper and flexible for both employers and employees, as well as being a permanent residency route which allows you to actually bring your dependents along to the UK. It offers far more flexibility for an employer and employee because you only have to work for your employer for 6 months before you're actually able to change employers in the UK. So it's a much more flexible route than the skilled worker visa. If you're interested in learning more about this visa and what its requirements are, then make sure you check the description box below because I would have left the links to the relevant videos down in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to give this video a like. Make sure you share this video and please do make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so.